All right. Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing great. Welcome to the weekly collective reading. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh, and I have to say it's such a pleasure to be able to be here for you today and to walk through all the energy in the next 7 days, which is what we're going to cover. You can see our general format here. I'll begin with some channeled messages that came from dreams, and then we'll get into 7-day elemental and a special topic. By the way, congrats to all of my members this week for helping break the tie, because we had, let's see here, basically a tie between the two top options here, and high frequency opportunities are the ones that won. All right. Oh, it looks like I just came live here. I want to double check and make sure that you got me from the beginning. You did. Okay, good. So welcome everybody. Apollo is chilling out in the background. He got 3 walks this morning. So thank you for allowing ample time for puppy first and foremost. All right, so what we're going to cover today is, first of all, like I said, we're going to take a look at the channeled messages. I've been getting a lot of out of this world sort of energy coming through. I think a lot of it was the full moon that just passed. And also, we're finally really entering into the energy of 2024. Big changes for a lot of us. I'll talk a little bit about myself after we get through let's see, the channel messages, 7-day and elemental. I'm going to be doing a move soon. I'll highlight why and when. But first things first, let's get into channeled messages. All right, so let me bring up the presentation here and we'll talk. Okay, so all of these came through dreams. I'm also going to bring in a little bit of the energy that I saw earlier this week because it was really potent. So not just what I got last night, but a couple days ago as well. Last night in particular, it was about speaking up, speaking out, not being afraid to say what's necessary here. So the way that spirit worked with me in my dreams was I was actually working with oracle cards, surprise, surprise. But the arrangement of the words was off a little bit. I had to really focus on it. And then finally it came through. And I had to kind of piece the words together. And the first one was, I can say the words that I need to hear, which is really unique. That's not something that I would normally pick up on a card or say myself. So that I need to hear, that you need to hear. So this can mean sometimes if you're not hearing in your life that you are lovable, you are worthy, you are deserving, you are capable, you are powerful. These are words that you need to say to yourself. If you don't get it from your partner, if you don't get it from your teacher, if you don't get it from your friends or your children or anyone else, get it from within. And that's really the powerful message that Spirit was bringing forth. I, or you, can say the words that I or you need to hear in order to feel whole, to feel stable, to feel loved. The next one, and again, one little interpretation here is don't self-deprecate. Encourage yourself, encourage others, repeat the words of encouragement often. So when I go through a challenging situation, I will say something like, I've got what it takes to figure this out. God and Spirit have my back. I've dealt with something like this before. I can do this again. I kind of will talk myself into a positive mind because otherwise otherwise you're going to spiral in the opposite direction, and that doesn't make sense. So when you believe it's possible, you can see with all 3 eyes, and your third eye is going to start to open up to the possibilities. So let's open up all 3 eyes. Now, the next one was really unique as well. I will fight with my words, not with my hands. This is probably for a very small subsection out there, but fight to me also means advocate, inspire, and awaken. It's not like... and also sometimes we have to fight for change. But again, fighting can be legislation. Fighting can be advocacy, can be nonviolent protest. There's a lot of different ways to affect change. So if I were to rewrite this or adjust it a bit so it wasn't misconstrued, it said, I can affect change with my words, not just with my hands. And with my hands is like pushing people around with things that just, it doesn't have to be like this kind of pushing. It can also be like, you want to do this, right? We want to inspire, not force things. So it's elevating communication, using words as a tool and a source of inspiration, not as a weapon, because both words and hands can be weapons. So we want to really elevate. Don't push, don't force. Easier said than done, right? But that's what was coming through. And I was given these direct words. The way that it came through was like a jigsaw puzzle. By the way, I put the Queen of Swords because she is very to the point. If I needed to get the honest truth from one of the court cards, I would go talk to the Queen of Swords. She would tell me like it is. All right, so revise and edit. That's what we really want to be doing right now. Don't send out a first draft. Maybe don't send it out at all. If there's something you need to say, make sure that, if possible, you can do a face-to-face or a real-time conversation. If someone isn't open to that, it's not the right time to have the conversation, or you're talking to the wrong person. It's really important to get it right the first time if possible. I'm not a perfectionist, of course, but the revisionary piece or the planning piece is what's going to help you do it right or do it to the best of your ability the first time. Don't just say stuff without thought when it comes to important change in your life this week in particular. So it was all about communication as I was easing into what we were going to talk about today, and higher frequency opportunities is the choice that, with the help of the members, thank you by the way, we were able to get to. I will still keep an eye out for the runner-up here, which was, what was the other one? Oh, divine timing. So I'll keep an eye out for that. But it kind of makes sense here that in order to increase the frequency, we have to embrace the best version of the conversation or language, okay? So over the course of the last 5 days here, the work week, all of my dreams were out of this world. Not playing on like literally I was working with light beings. So there's definitely an energetic shift coming through because of the topic that you chose for me, the high frequency piece. I was like, let's talk about this a little bit. I did have a chance to discuss it with both, I think Aquarius and Capricorn, or the last couple of readings that I did. But let's talk about it as well here. So one of the energies and messages that came through was an awakening. I saw a light being put its hands into my head, kind of touching the brain, saying, wake up. So I think we can all benefit from that right now, which is about really opening ourselves up to all of the possibilities and expanding consciousness. That's why we have the High Priestess here. Could have put the World card, but it really is about expanding consciousness this week. And then I got a spinning wheel that was placed in my hands, and this was, I think, specifically for the last sign that I just read. But this is also sort of like the Wheel of Fortune. I didn't talk about that in that reading, but by basically starting to open your mind, by starting to do what we did today, which is to repeat positive mantra to ourselves, then we're going to sort of take that Wheel of Fortune in our hands and start to create the change that we need. It was a disc within a disc within a disc. It was almost like a UFO. So basically, this is also showing me that things can move with speed, ease, and may even take you by surprise how quickly things start to come into fruition. So that's why we need all three eyes open. We're really going to be focusing today on opening the third eye as we're looking at all of these options on the table. Go big or go home is the big message here. And just like I was talking about in the previous slide, things may come to you patchwork or in pieces. So give yourself time to reflect and meditate on how all of this is coming together. If we constantly just go, 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 and never give ourselves time to rest, to recalibrate, and to sort of like reframe it, it gets a little bit, confusing. By the way, before I get into the 7-day forecast, someone's talking about having a hard time remembering their dreams. If I didn't write them down or dictate them into my phone, I would forget them. So just a tip for intuitive development, since you're all tuning in today, take a moment. And after I get up sometimes at 2 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 7, whatever time it is, and I put on my glasses and just tap 3 or 4 words. All I really need to remember the spinning disc is spinning disc in hand. And I'm like, okay. Or aliens on hands, or alien hands on brain. I'm like, yeah, I'll remember that dream. So you just have to kind of like write 2 to 3 words. It's not a big journal. That's all I've got. If anyone else looked at my notes, they wouldn't understand them. But if I can do 3 to 5 words, I've got the dream. I can go back there and we're golden. So that's my tip to you for intuitive development. Don't write a novel. It's not like, dear journal, I had this dream. No, just high points. All right, let's get into the 7-day forecast. This is going to take us through the next week, just like it's titled. Let's turn the camera down. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, too much detail, you're probably losing the point anyway. It's just like a card. You just need a picture or a phrase. I'm glad you guys are laughing. I think that's what puts some people off. when it comes to journaling. It does not have to be, this is not homework. We're here to have fun and expand our consciousness. Okay, let's focus on the week. Today, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, let's begin. Okay, we're going to start off with the energy of today, this Sunday. So we have the King of Cups in reverse. The most important thing you can do in this moment in time is find a way to channel all the stuff that's coming through, whether it's positive, whether it's something that triggers you, or it's creative. Find a way to capture that. And we just talked about that a little bit. It could simply be writing a goal, talking to someone. I actually put the title of that slide as Speak It Into Creation or Existence. So by saying something positive or affirmative, I'm going to accomplish this, I'm working on this, I'm improving here, you're actually starting to open the floodgates, and that's what the King of Cups would connect with. When he's reversed, he's also saying, I've got enough on my plate, I need to let something go. Something emotional is clogging up the sort of channels of abundance. And so look in your life and think, where am I feeling either emotionally drained, or where is there something like a dam that's kind of building up and there needs to be a release? That's the area of focus today. Figure out what the next step is, why the attachment might exactly be there. And yes, and that's going to be the key here. And this is MJ's deck. Yeah, I like to support other readers as well. All the links are on my website. The other thing here is love or relationship energy could be a little bit intense today. So if you're already in a relationship, be mindful of how you're communicating with others. Try to elevate, again, what we were talking about, the communication there. It could be a good day to just sort of like avoid unnecessary conflict. The main thing here is to find a sense of peace within. So meditation, exercise, having some fun, doing brunch or dinner with a friend, all of these things are great. You are going to have a lot of creative and emotional energy, so try your best to find a way to sort of embrace that. Okay, so let's begin the work week here, or just the week in general. So we've got Monday's energy coming through. It looks like improvement has been made. So we went from the King to the Page. They're both reversed. I did keep shuffling the deck, but we were getting some reversals. Not a big deal. Reversals show us where to focus. As a reader, I'm not afraid of that. It actually is advantageous. So now we see that you're starting to feel a little bit more yourself. Grounding energy is great. It's almost out of perspective there, but really look at how sort of the focus is on the feet there. So anything you can do to ground your energy, or take an idea that's coming forth and ground that as well. So this could be talking to someone and saying, let's stay accountable on this. Do you want to do this together? Do you want to meet up? Maybe it's a writing partner. Maybe it's an exercise buddy. Maybe it is a counselor. These are all forms of accountability. You agree to meet at set times to chart progress. So that's a great way of grounding. Whether or not you're looking for love and relationships, they're coming through. A couple days in a row, it feels like more people may be knocking on your door saying, want to hang out? Want to do this? We need your help here. So boundaries are going to be really important, and making sure that you have enough in the tank, basically, that you're not operating at a deficit, okay? You can say no to things if you don't want to connect with someone. It's okay. You can always, in a very positive way too, say, I'd love to catch up. This week is a little intense. Do you want to do it next week? So, say no in the way that feels right to you. But there also could just be something coming through, and all of the mantra work that we're talking about is about confidence. Yes, you deserve it. This is a good card. It's incoming love or good news or opportunity, usually in the form of someone saying it or something written. So if it comes through and you're doubting yourself, just think, I can do this, as long as you want to do it. Let's put it that way. Tuesday's busy. Busy is good. All right, so on Tuesday, we have the Eight of Wands. It's in reverse. You may be playing a little bit of catch up. So you are probably, at this point, just really trying to think, what time? It's already 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something. Whenever the Eight of Wands comes through, time sometimes slips past us. an appointment that you might have otherwise kept, you may forget. So one thing that I would say is really double check times and dates and make sure that you've accepted or rejected appointments or confirmed appointments. Make sure that others are getting reminders as well, especially if you run a business. This is a great day to do a morning call and say, hey, you have a 3 o'clock appointment. Are you ready? These are the things that I'm seeing that could potentially slip through, not because of sloppiness, but because of busyness. So keep track of appointments. Reach out to others for help if you need it. This is a card of support, not often illustrated as such. So there's a lot of people around you. Lean on them for support if you need it. Otherwise, it's just a good card in general. Anything that you want to launch, usually this is great. The only difference is they're kind of in the wrong direction. So normally these are like rockets flying in the air. So one thing that you could do today is just make sure that everybody's working together and has the same understanding of like what the central goal is, because sometimes what happens is, again, too many things going on. It's like juggling. You put 1 or 2 additional items in the air and something's going to fall. So you can always pull back when we're looking at wands, especially if you go to the 6 of wands, because that'll be less but better. Like, so really focus efforts and intentions, or go all the way, add more people and get it to the 10 of wands. This one is just sort of really, really busy. I wouldn't add anything to your plate on Tuesday. Let's put it that way. All right, we have a perspective shift as we look at the midweek. So we have the 4 of Cups. It is in reverse. It's actually auspicious when reversed. 4 of Cups is one of the... It's a card in tarot where you're wishing for something else. You're not completely present. Often it's a little grumpy. That was the word that I was trying to pull from the ethers. So it's sort of like, why are we not there yet? Why does that person have this? Why am I doing this and not seeing any progress? So let me give you some advice for the 4 of Cups. As we can see in the upright position, the universe is like, there's a little carrot in front of you, that extra ace. If we take off everything beneath it, it's just an Ace of Cups. So there's actually something you're missing. Either there's a reason why you are where you are. You have to kind of like learn or embrace or do something with that. Or you are meant to redirect and say, this isn't bringing joy, but this is inspiring me to check this out. So just keep an open heart and an open mind. Believe that the universe has your back and look for a hidden blessing. Your sense of frustration is closing the third eye a little bit. Try not to tune in too much to what the group is saying. These 3 cups in the front can be gossip, peer pressure, or thinking the grass is always greener somewhere else. They did a good job capturing that with this. And you're exactly where you need to be. This is your life, your curriculum, your plan. Theirs is different. There's a reason they're where they are, but we don't have to understand everybody's curriculum. So this is saying, don't put yourself in other people's business. Focus on you and focus on what you can control. Okay? Try to find silver linings where they exist. Try to find the hidden gems. Likely there is something that you're missing. Look again at contracts, talk to other people, get some advice, get some outside perspective if you need it. All of that will help you out. And this is also just a great day if you're feeling uninspired to, whether it's like listening to a podcast, looking at a movie, reading a book, going to a museum, wherever you find inspiration in everyday life, get out there and see how others are doing it. And it may also help spark your intuition and your inspiration. Speaking of which, it's coming through in large effect here on Thursday. We have the lovely High Priestess, and the sky's the limit. So this is a day where you can do anything you want to. You can put, and it's also a day that you're working towards. So right here, right now, whenever you're watching this video prior to Thursday, start setting into motion plans and goals, and think to yourself, I really want to get this done no later than Thursday. And set it out there as a goal and intention. Keep me posted in the comments below. But if you're clear on what you're looking for, the universe can show up and support you. This is, of course, a great day for leadership, creativity, meetings, getting your way in the best possible way as well. We're just talking about being able to make a breakthrough, make some progress, and really see dreams to fruition. And of course, again, meditation is going to be something that you can connect with as well, and you might get insight or get past the block here that you were experiencing the day before. There's no reason we can't be embracing this High Priestess energy every day of the week. Again, the light being coming through and putting its hands on the two lobes of my brain saying, wake up. This is awakening to all of the different possibilities, folks. And we do sometimes fall asleep or get distracted with stuff that kind of numbs our senses. So just wake up to the possibilities. And that's really what the High Priestess is inviting you to do. Even if it's not here yet, that doesn't mean that it's not happening. I was going to mention something about the frustration of the Four of Cups. So, and it will help here with the High Priestess too. Just a little bit of detachment will help. I can't remember which sign I was talking to about this, or maybe we brushed upon it last weekend. But when you feel like you've done everything humanly possible to get something started or make the change that you want to make happen, but you're not seeing results, just let go for a second, breathe, and trust, and think to yourself, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I did everything. I showed up. Remember what I said, we don't want to push. So what I usually do then is broaden the idea, reach in a different direction, start to turn my energy just to focus on something else. And about that time, then this starts to push through. It's like a little bulb that sneaks out, and the next day you see something starting to flower or whatever. So just give it a little space, like a house plant or any plant. Orchids, I only water these maybe twice a month. They don't need a lot of water. If I water them every day, the roots will rot. So you want to not overdo something, because too much love, too much energy pushes it out. So change your focus, look for something else, and do a little bit of dreaming. And that's really what Thursday's inviting in. All right, we have another magical card here. These two are amazing, by the way. And it's great that we're getting some major arcana here. So the Hermit, this is getting you ready for star power. The Hermit carries the star, and by the way, we're on Friday. And so this is your chance, even through a dark night of the soul moment, by the way. So everything else could be falling apart, but one thing is really it's like the light at the end of the tunnel. So for those of you going through the dark night of the soul or chaos or all this crazy stuff, the Hermit's coming through saying, don't lose hope and don't lose focus on why we got into this and why you need to keep on keeping on. The best is yet to come. And that's what this Hermit is reminding you. Whatever today shows you, he's shrouded in darkness, but he's focusing on the light. So there's going to be a little bit of both on Friday. There might be some stuff where you're like, I still feel like I'm in the dark, or this is frustrating, but you might get one piece of great news or one sense of inspiration. That's going to be your future star. That's what you want to focus on. Not all the chaos, not all the murkiness. Yes, you need to deal with it, but that's just there to frame up the star, the lantern, okay? So some good stuff can happen. Now, other things, more traditional interpretation of the Hermit. It's a great day to just work by yourself. You may not be inclined to be that social. It's an upright Hermit. That's cool. We don't want to fight the Hermit. If he's upside down, then it's saying get out of your shell. But in the upright position, it's saying do some research, do some self-care, do some whatever you want to do, a day off. It doesn't matter. Work by yourself. Ask for some space, whatever is necessary. Hermit energy can be good. Clean up the home as well, because the Hermit needs a nice, clean, and sanctified space. All of that stuff is great. A little bit of time to yourself. All right, let's take a look at next Saturday. On Saturday, we have overcoming fears and anxieties. So 9 of Swords in the upright position has to do with woe is me. We can kind of see her, hitting face palming here. So when it's reversed, it's saying, this could be better. There are things that I can do to improve this. I probably will be able to think a lot clearer if I get some rest. And this is diminishing returns. So I'm going to give you free permission. You don't need it from me, but like encouragement not to do a lot next Saturday. Because the best thing that you could do is to change your environment, to release stress. That could be exercise, that could be swimming, that could be taking a trip, that could be sitting on the couch reading a book, binging on your favorite show on Netflix or whatever. Just do something to relax and to change the mental channel. And using mantra saying, it's going to be better tomorrow. I'm going to let this go. I've done everything that I can do. If there's something you need to do it and then let it go. Because otherwise, all those swords start to add up and it just starts to feel overwhelming and you start to create issues that don't exist. Let's not do that. Let's keep it simple and focus on self-care, folks, okay? So that will help you as we get into next Sunday. And we have the Nine of Wands here. You are very, very close to seeing something to the finish line. The Nine of Wands is a card of pressing forward, persevering, not giving up. It's also a day where some of the stuff that you were experiencing the day before could come through in the form of a headache or a persistent thought, a migraine. A lot of times you'll see a bandage on the head, and that represents taking care. And it's interesting, this week I was shown the brain. We don't often think of taking care of the brain. One thing that you can do is make sure that it's active and it's having fun, and but the other thing is sometimes we overwork it. So rest the day before so that you can pick up the slack on Sunday and get some work done and see it through the finish line. There's just one more wand that you need, and then you're done. So you're very, very close. Take off, take it easy on Friday and take off Saturday, and then I think Sunday you'll be able to get things finished. Let's take a quick look at the overall week, highlights and lowlights, and then we'll move on to the elemental forecast. So highlights of the week, these 3 days. So Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday are really, really good. Even with a reversed Eight of Wands, a lot of things are possible. High Priestess and Hermit, both upright, two of the most powerful and most spiritual cards in tarot, kind of like helping you wrap up the work week, really putting you in a good place. You might also be the voice of reason on Friday. Other people are looking to you for inspiration, advice, or we don't know what to do. And you're going to come through with like a spotlight and say, just do this. So really powerful energy. The days where you're going to be triggered a bit, I think Sunday, Monday, and next Sunday. So those are the days where we see a lot of emotional energy coming through. Wednesday's just a perspective shift. Okay. So overall, pretty manageable week. Nothing overly intense. I think we can manage it. So there we go. Let's take a look now at the elements. We're going to focus on fire, earth, air, and water. And let me switch up the decks here. I did prepare and get everything to the side here, so 1 second. Okay, here we go. Fire, earth, air, water. Okay, got all upright cards. That's great. Let's take a look at fire first. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's freedom, it's liberation, it's movement. We have the Fool coming through. Not just the typical Fool either, one that is kind of sprinting. This reminds me every time I look at it of the movie What Dreams May Come, the one with Robin Williams. Right when he comes out of, into spirit after he passes away, everything that he sees is kind of like a painting, like his wife, but it reminds me of that blurry sort of landscape. So this is also, I said, speak it into existence. Some of you might even be sketching things out or kind of dreaming it into existence, and the periphery, the details, not everything is going to be perfect when you first see it. So this deck also reminds me of True Heart Intuitive, because whoever illustrated Rachel's deck, there's a transparency to the Fool, which also resonates. So the blurriness, the transparency, it's basically saying don't expect everything to be crystal clear. Just keep taking one step at a time this week. It's a great day to get out and exercise, to see the world. This is a card of traveling. It's birthing, it's beginning, it's resetting. If we look really close, you'll see the Fool has the number 0 on it. So all of these things are possible in this moment in time. So take it one step at a time. It's great. I feel like this is just, if I had to sum it up in one word for all fire signs, it's a week of opportunities and beginnings. It's 2 words, but you'll have to deal with it. That's what I'm seeing there. And basically, don't be afraid to walk toward your dream or to release something. I really just feel this sense of openness when I see this. So that's it. I don't need to complicate it. It's a good week for fire. By the way, the fact that we're seeing him run and there's going to be a breeze, that feeds the fire. So the movement will also help feed the fire of your dreams and passions. Earth, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You are stepping into the sort of like captain's chair here. We have the Emperor card. He's also finding a way through what looks like an impossible structure. It almost reminds me of a tesseract here in a moment. But anyway, think outside of the box. Create your own special way of doing things. You don't actually have to fit the mold. Because to me, when I'm looking at him in that mold, it feels like this is constrictive and constricting, I should say. And it's not allowing him to sort of enter into the Empress energy, which, not Empress, but the High Priestess energy, which we saw this week offering. So think outside of the box, create your own structures, get organized. Emperor and Empress energy definitely have a good sense of organization. Of course, it's a week for leadership too, if you're ready and willing to step into a leadership opportunity. And then just reclamation of power through a simple mantra. I can, I will, I am. That's it. That's a great way to connect with Emperor energy. Then just put whatever it is that you're intending to create or do after that. I can, I will, I am. The I am piece is important because it puts you in that driver's chair or captain's chair, and you really make things happen. So there may also be some challenges this week with authority, with parental energy, mentor energy, and it is you sort of pushing back like he is and saying, that was you, that's not me. So don't be afraid to redefine what you want, who you are, separate from what was placed upon you by society, by family, etc. Even yourself in younger years. Okay, next we're going to take a look at our air signs out there. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Moving on, moving forward. Basically things starting to it's that Eight of Wands energy. Speed up the velocity, the trajectory is really coming forth for your signs. And I like that we got air for air here. So for many of you this week, it's saying don't be afraid to launch, to begin, to explore, to go beyond the existing boundaries of whatever was. In business, this can also be broadening, globalization. It's going further than, just your city, states, or province here. You're saying, I think this could catch on elsewhere. There's a kind of viral, in the best sense of the word, nature to this energy. Travel is very much encouraged with Six of Swords energy. And, I was talking about meeting face to face. This is also encouraging that kind of energy. So this is not a week where things are going to stand still. Any stagnation in your life, your mantra this week is, I'm ready for a breakthrough. I'm an agent of change. I'm ready to move forward. I can, I will, I am moving this forward. Okay? Now, the only thing that I'm picking up on from guides here is they're saying if someone needs to go in another direction, let them go. This is true of both of the movement cards here. So you could either be moving towards something or away, the way that these two work. And either way, that's fine, because we're not going to try to force movement or acceptance of that. So if someone's moving on, let them move on. If they're moving towards you, don't second guess that. If you need to move towards something, do it. Don't force the movement though, okay? Now let's take a look at water. We also got water for water, and we have the Two of Cups. Great week for partnership. We saw that Friday may be the only day where that's not going to be as easy because of the Hermit energy, but otherwise, the week is wide open here. So this is great for business partnerships, getting closer with friends and family, and of course, love. And it also constitutes a magnetic energy here. So lovers, Six of Cups, Two of Cups, even Ace of Cups, any of those are really saying your energy, your aura, what you have to offer is pulling people in. And we specifically see, especially with 2 and 6 of Cups and the Lovers card, more than one person. And that's saying, really engage with that group energy. You can get more done with the power of 2 than you can on your own. So if you're ready and willing to embrace that, this is the time to do so. If you're looking for love, this is a great week to put yourself out there. If you're looking for work, it's probably going to come from friends and family. If you're looking for anything, it's more about that sort of connecting energy. That's where the power is, okay? So overall, I love it. I just even liked when I saw them. I'm like, this is going to be a good week. Everybody's getting a gain this week in some way, shape, or form, whether it's subtle movement or very obvious movement or self-empowerment or partnership. It's a win across the board. And you can use this, by the way, for sun, rising, and moon, so you can look at that, whatever element falls under that accordingly. Okay, So we're next going to take a look at the special topic here. I'm going to get everything organized. We'll talk a little bit about what's coming up for me as well. So as I mentioned, I am not by necessarily choice, but I need to find a new apartment. So unfortunately, the place that I'm living in, there's an issue with the HVAC unit and it's causing mold issues. So for safety, I'm going to be moving sometime in February. I'll keep you guys posted more on that when it happens. I may need to part with some of my decks, in which case at that point I may even put like a registry up, or it'll just take me a couple of months to restock all of my stuff. So just be patient with me as I move through this. Things happen. We're going to be just like we saw with the movement cards. You got to keep moving, got to keep going. And that's my plan on this as well. So thanks for your patience. All right, let's see here. I think we're going to move with this deck. Let's get started. Well, here's the cool thing, and I don't want to shuffle cards while I'm talking. Any move can be good. Like a lot of times we are given tower moments in our life because we've kind of grown long in the tooth, or there's something better waiting. And that's kind of how I look at stuff. And even when there's a reset, you remember what I was talking about with the Hermit, that's very much what happens. There could be a lot of stuff going on around you, but you have to look at what you're trying to create in the future. So this is even appropriate for the higher frequency opportunities, which we're going to be looking at. You have to think, this is happening. And then you can also think, this is happening. So change is imminent and opportunity is knocking. And that's kind of how I try to face challenges. Take it as you will. You know, it's just one step at a time. All right, let's now really focus. We're going to take a deep breath, focus on higher frequency opportunities. There was a tie this week. Thank you to all the members for helping me break the tie. If I get any messages around timing or timelines, I will bring it up. If not, I may do a special reading or just put that back into the mix for future topics. I did do a post and ask for suggestions, and I was using a lot of suggestions in these recent things, so I'll keep doing that. By the way, one other piece of news, I have a podcast that it's finally underway. I'm waiting for my guest to sign some papers, but once I get confirmation on that, I may open up to members a chance to ask a question. There's some things that I'm going to start to do for members as the podcast evolves this year. So finally that's happening, but took a lot of time and planning. So more to come. All right, let's focus now on high frequency opportunities. This is for everybody. We're looking at energetic patterns, places where there may be blocks, things where we may not be looking at the opportunities, etc., etc. Okay, change is imminent, as we were saying here, not just for me, but for many of you as well. Yeah, I understand. This was the first time in almost a year that we had it was a dead tie. So I'm actually really grateful that I didn't have to sit there and calculate to the number everything. The members helped me. It was a clear winner on the members. And that is one of the perks here, is that members get a chance to break ties. I'll have to see if I have any extra memberships this month. If I do, I might gift them after we get through the Celtic Cross. But let's focus on the messages first. I only get 10 per month that I can gift. Okay, here we go, folks. We're going to begin first with the catalyst. Let me just get the graphics set up here. So for the catalyst here, we have separation. So especially for those of you, I believe the air signs got it this week, the Six of Swords, even the fire signs with the Fool, I believe. This could be for some of you saying, I'm moving in a different direction. It could be separating from something. So quitting a job, leaving a relationship, moving like I'll be doing, things of that nature. And just saying, I need to sever ties. I need to cut cords. It's a great week, by the way, for cord cutting. In particular, when we were looking at the High Priestess, you could do it on, Thursday? But any day this week, you can just say, I'm done with this pattern, with this person, with this place. I'm ready for something else. We see spirit represented by the dove here. And we see sort of like, well, we're still in January. So the god Janus basically has an anterior and posterior, front and back head, looking in both directions. You can see all things this month. So take a look back and then figure out where you want to go next. And watching this right now in the last few days of January, it's really, this is the chance, this is the time. If not now, then when? Okay? So you have a sort of validation and encouragement, if necessary, from spirit to take that next move, make that separation, make it happen. All right. So focusing now on the rest of the cards here, let's see what's going on here. So success is at hand. Here's the good news. And again, we're looking at higher frequency opportunities. It is knocking. There is this energy of birthing or ownership that is coming through and modifying that. So I'll get into that in a moment. There is also a need to kind of like push and move towards the Three of Wands energy, but there is some healing that needs to be done first. Overall, I like what I see. There is a little bit of resistance to the two biggest cards in any Celtic Cross, near future and outcome. So death is not to be feared. It's just a chance to move in a different direction. These are very connected. Separation and death. Like literally that's the same sort of energy. But the word that's missing from this collection of words is transformation, opportunity, rebirth, new beginnings, birthing. Because whenever the death card appears, so does usually a birthing energy like the sun. This is the baby in tarot. Not as illustrated here, but it's usually a little kid riding in on a horse, and it represents the ability to step into something new. So let's take it card by card before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Don't focus so much on the need to succeed. This is the first message from Spirit, and especially when it comes to high frequency opportunities. Higher frequency isn't always about doing what's popular. Oftentimes it's contrary to that, or doing what's expected. People may think, well, you always said you were going to do this, or everyone else in your family did this, or I want you to do this. Guess what? It's all about everyone else but you, and that shouldn't be what you're trying to. You can do it, you can succeed because we have the Six of Wands, but what do you consider success to be? That's all Spirit cares about. It's not what I think, it's not what society thinks, it's not what anyone else thinks but you. So your first and most important homework assignment, in the best way, remember my homework assignments are easy, they're one word. What do you want? What are you looking for? Try and limit it. When I was a good manager back in the day, it was easy to have me as a boss, but like what I would ask of my direct reports is I would say, get an index card, and put one goal on each of them. I want it to be very, very simple. If you're using more than one side or more than one sentence, your goal is too complicated. Make it very attainable so you can succeed when I review you in 6 months. And that helped some people because I had a couple of folks that didn't speak English as their first language. So I'm like, I don't need big words, just simple. Make it a goal that I understand and you can complete. Make one goal a little bit more challenging. So a stretch goal and a couple of easy wins, and that will set you up for success. Do the same for yourself. Say, this week I'm going to do this because I've been putting it off. All I have to do is go from point A to point B, and I'll feel good about myself. There's one thing that's going to be a little bit more tricky. I'm going to try to make some progress on that. So one easy thing, one stretch goal, and then feel like, okay, that's good. Now let's look at your life in general. What are you trying to really accomplish? Are you trying to be more independent? Are you trying to have better relationships with people? Do you want to create more abundance in your life? These are things back from all the years of counseling and reading that would come up often. Just pick one, just one for this week. We're looking at a week, folks. You can't fix it all. Just pick one thing and think this will make me feel successful about myself. And if you can attach to one bigger thing in your whole life, then all the little things can file in under it, and that becomes sort of like the central magnet. There's this cool song by Katie Lang from like the 90s, Constant Craving. But she talks about like divinity as this magnet pulling everything back to like its source. And this is sort of like that magnet that can help you get focus. So you're not constantly craving, trying to find things, looking for everything. Just find your focal point. So I've talked about it here in the work that I do. It's raising consciousness. I can actually do it in 2 words. I'm here to raise consciousness. We'll make it a verb. And then I like to do other things like normalize conversations around spirituality. That's the podcast. I like to also expand my own consciousness and get excited about something beyond the everyday stuff. But yeah, it's basically just making it easy and normal and fun to talk about spirituality. So that helps me choose partnerships and opportunities. Because if it's not pulling the needle forward, what am I doing it for? So find what it is you're trying to do goal-wise and then week-wise, and that will help. And then take the first step, the sun. Give yourself a deadline. It's sun day, the sun's day. So you can give yourself 7 days, and next Sunday, there you go. You should be on your merry way. The other thing with this is solar plexus energy. So focusing on leaning into your power this week, one of the things that you can really do is activate or strengthen your core, and that will help you with all of this. And when you're speaking and doing things, really feel like you're pulling that energy from the core into all that is in front of you. But birthing energy, and birthing because it's what you want to do, that's raising the frequency, okay? Don't be afraid to ask. It's hard. It's a good lesson from Spirit. I don't know when we were told that we're not allowed to ask for more. Well, I mean, I think of that old movie, which I haven't seen since like I was a kid. It's been a while. But yeah, Oliver Twist. So he's like, could I have some more? And he's not allowed to get more. I can't remember the whole scene, but I kind of feel like we all have that fear of asking for more when there's not enough. Ace of Coins in reverse doesn't have to be read in a negative fashion. It can just say, can I have this? I need this. And it's okay to state needs, desires, and expectations because we're elevating everything here. So tell people how you need them to show up. This is like what I was doing when I was a boss. I need you to do this by this date. Here's how you can do it. You do it, you're going to be in a good place. If you don't, I've set the expectations of what I need. And then I would also say, what do you need this year to feel like you're supported? So we can take some of those managerial things and apply them into our own life and our own relationships. So ask for what you need. Ask others what they need. Very rarely do people say, what do you need? Are you okay? Is everything, so have those kinds of conversations. This is transactional. Do you owe anything to anybody? Let's settle the debts. That's a very straightforward message from Spirit. And I don't think I've ever really read the Ace of Pentacles reversed like that. So that's definitely from Divinity. So if you need to pay something, pay it this month. If you said you were going to do it, do it. Keep your promises, pay your debts, and ask if you need something. It works both ways. That will help you avoid. I just talked about this in, I think, the daily forecast. We had a run of sevens, lucky sevens. So the 7 of Swords. When you're accountable, you kind of push that energy away. When you lack the accountability or the integrity, the 7 of Swords kind of slips into the energy. So just, if you're going to do it, do it. If you need to pay it, pay it. If you need something, ask, and the 7 of Swords will stay at bay. Opportunity is knocking, and it could be for many of you in the way of a relationship. There could also be this new sense of inspiration or joy, a newfound sense of what's possible. So your heart's opening up. But when your heart opens up, it also exposes some of the pain of the past, okay? And in order to really embrace this is the only block. It's whatever things you've pushed beneath the surface. This is a card of youth. This is connected to pain. There might be something from childhood. This could be the inner child. This could be a recent breakup or disappointment. It's making that inner child feel not worthy. So one thing here the only thing that I can do for you is say that is something you can overcome. And the cards, spirit, energy, all of this sees you as worthy, but working on your own connection to self-worth will help you in more ways than you could imagine. So however you need to do that or feel compelled to do that, that's what I'm picking up on here. there very well may be a new love or relationship coming into your life. This can go the distance because Page of Cups connected to Three of Wands, literally we would see ships coming in on that one. We also see someone who's willing to put in the effort, if you are too. So I like that. And also for any creative or endeavor, dream, or passion, we also see that going the distance as well. Okay? Crowning card, Three of Wands, reversed. So this is the only deck where I actually see someone putting forth effort to get something that typically is coming towards them. We see the Three Wands beneath her. She's even going beyond it. For this one, I'm going to pull the traditional card just for clarity. Good, it was right by the beginning. So here's your traditional card. So typically we see someone standing somewhat passively on a hill. You can see all these little tiny ships that are coming forth. And I've always said I like an active Three of Wands where the person meets the opportunity halfway. Why wait? Why let it take longer than it needs to? So she's saying, here it is, and maybe there's even something a little bit more. I'm going to go further. After this is what? Partnership, Four of Wands. Partnership, love, firm foundations. So I think she's moving towards this. So if you're ready to work in a partnership, toward a partnership, opening yourself up to one, I definitely get that vibe. And you know I don't read for love unless it comes through, but I definitely see the ability to connect with people this month and do so in a way that's very favorable. And I believe that for all of my water signs out there, partnership was a pretty key energy as well. Okay, so let's take a look here at the Three of Swords. Three of Swords. Here we go, folks. For many of you, this is just a final set of healing that needs to be done. It's almost like this sword is cutting at the wing here. I never noticed this. It's inhibiting your ability to fly, is the way that we could read this. This could be recent. It could be deep past. But wherever this healing opportunity is, now, absolutely now is the time to say, I'm going to pump the brakes and slow down for a moment. I'm going to learn how and why this energy of pain or disappointment or this internal sort of soul wound, it was created, and I'm going to overcome it. Excuse me. This is your chance once and for all to overcome something. And you owe it to yourself to heal. So there are so many different ways to do it. I'm just going to put that out there. So whether with the help of others or on your own, healing is very, very important. Also, seeing any sort of block or delay or disappointment as, because we're elevating, we're looking at higher frequency. So let me just kind of share a couple of experiences in my own life. But when something doesn't work out, you apply for a job, you're denied, or you ask someone on a date, they're not interested. This was not an energetic match, and Spirit didn't want you to get entangled with something that wasn't in the frequency that you need to be in. So by raising your frequency, you won't even need to worry about some of those other things. Let whatever has been, whatever needs to be, and then focus now on opening up new channels. And remembering what I talked about with the law of detachment, sometimes when you raise your frequency and look beyond, someone else is like, oh, look at that. Look at the light of the hermit over there. They can see you now. So the main thing for you to do is to let it go, to focus on what you can control, to be your own light. Because a lot of times other people are dealing with their own stuff too. So this is a chance to really just think to yourself, I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm intuitive, I'm going to do this, I'm going to figure it out, and pep talk yourself up, almost like you're preparing for a game. And that is what you can do in this moment to really bring movement. And that is how you're showing up here. So once you can move past this, we have your soul energy coming through with the Chariot, and you're going to start to see momentum. You're driving the ship. And the horses, or in this case, the serpents or the fish that are there, need direction, and you have to find the compass from within. You're going to find your own true North Star, and ultimately you are the star. So that's kind of what this is. Be your North Star. If I were to title this reading, it's to be your North Star. Not to find it, not to follow someone else's vapor trails across the sky. It's to be your own North Star. And that's going to be what inspires other people, okay? Whatever you want to get control over or see organization on, the Chariot will help you. This is management. It's not like the sexiest card when it comes to all of the control ones. It's not a king. It's not the emperor, the empress. But it is very organized, and it does get things moving in the right direction. And it is a card of fighting. I talked about that, but fighting in the right way. It's just saying, I'm going to get this together. We're going to move it. It's pushing things forward. So you have everything that it takes to make things move. There is an opportunity knocking, but there's something about this that is either unconventional, unexpected, inconvenient. Yeah, I think I covered them all, because the Ace of Wands is reversed. So it's saying out of left field, I didn't anticipate that. I didn't expect that. I am not ready. Well, Spirit moves that way sometimes. So one thing that I can say for all of you, and this will help create room for success or growth or opportunity, be ready for it. One thing that you can do, and it's a fun exercise, is make sure that you have an outfit for a celebration. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get it on sale. You can get it thrifted. I don't care where you get it. But have something to show up to something to celebrate, or have something to show up for an interview or a fancy event or something, and just put that in the closet and say, I'm ready for the celebration. Again, I'm actually even better with it if you got it on sale, because you're saying, I'm ready for a celebration. I'm minding my money. It doesn't take a lot to show up that way. The other thing here is opening yourself up to the unexpected. And if it happens more quickly, just say, well, I'll just go with it. Some of the best things in life are not going to be perfectly planned out. So if it lands in your lap, it's a synchronicity, it's timing. So whether or not you're prepared, your ability to embrace and be open to it, that is also going to be the most valuable thing that I can kind of share with you in this moment, okay? Cool. All right. So what is the opportunity? So we have two of the four major death cards here. Four of Swords, Death, Judgment, and I'm missing one, but it's okay. Six of Swords. So two of them are here, which really underlines that change is happening. So the way that the Four of Swords works is it in a more subtle sense. This outcome card isn't as instantaneous as it might appear. The Four of Swords shows something that's been building up over time. You didn't know the signs until you got to the sort of like fork in the road. And you're like, oh, that's why that happened. That's why this person said this. That's why I felt that way. All the little puzzle pieces that I saw in my dreams are coming together, and now you see. So don't beat yourself up. That's the first thing, because right by the Four of Swords, the sort of sleepy awareness card is the Three of Swords. So pain, change, shifting movement, and you're like, oh, how did I miss it? Because we're opening the third eye. There was something where you weren't ready to see it. It was there all along. One thing that I like to kind of equate all of this to is, for those of you learning a new language, or if you have a kid that's in school or something, whenever you increase your vocabulary, there's typically words out there that we just don't hear because we don't really know them or we're not focused. But you learn a new word in your existing language or a new language, and then all of a sudden it's like it's everywhere. It's in a movie, it's in a book, you see it on a billboard. It was always there. You just have an increased awareness to that now. So now that your awareness is open, you can see all of the signs and then some. But you weren't ready until now. Now that you are, you will see it. It is what it is. Just embrace that and think to yourself, I'll be more open in the future. I'll keep the third eye open and look at things with more discernment and more connection than I have before. That's all we can do, is do better. We can't change the past. We can learn from it. We can't live in it. All we can do is do the best with the time given. Is that Gandalf? and really try to embrace our own sort of potential in the future as well. Okay. A lot of things could be coming through in your dreams. I certainly get a lot from Spirit in dreams and meditation. Because why, you wonder? It's because your mind's not focusing so much on all the things in front of it. You give yourself a chance to just receive. So really pay attention to your dreams. This is going to ease and mend. It will get better. This is a very unusual, somewhat sort of, bizarre Four of Swords. So I'll pull the traditional one up in just a second. One thing that it would be good for you to do this week is to take some time to rest. I mentioned that specifically for some signs, but I really think everybody, actually, no, I think I was talking about it for everyone because of the Nine of Swords. Definitely just rest, because it will help you recalibrate. You won't be as impatient. And if we look at the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card, you'll see that the pain of the Three of Swords is put to rest, and a new opportunity, a new clarity, a new ability to take action comes forth. This is a sepulcher or a coffin, and when you rest, you get that extra ace. So you've diminishing returns. There comes a point where it's like, I've done everything that I can. I've addressed everything that I can. I need to move on. Sorry, this card fell on the floor, Eight of Pentacles. So it's like, there'll be enough time for work tomorrow. For now, just rest. Okay. Now we have everybody's favorite card, Death. I say with a little sense of humor. So death is inevitable here. She actually can see the specter of death before it happens. Yes, it can be taken at face value. There could be a loss. Material, there could be a physical loss, someone that you love. There could also be monetary loss. There could also be a big change. Death can be positive. So let's say something was stagnating. All of a sudden, like the floodgates are open. Now you have too much. New things are coming through. So it's a period of adjustment and opportunity. And there's nowhere to go but through. So I think I've shared this before, but if I haven't, prior to my mom passing, probably not. So I did receive an indication where I saw like Archangel Azrael coming through. Azrael positioned itself around my mom. So I had this feeling that transition was near. She apologized for needing to transition, and I'm like, no, it's okay. I get it. She kept trying to hide from the specter of Azrael or death, but everywhere she went, it was. And I heard this very high frequency sound, and I felt a sense of calm. I'm like, this is just how things go. They end, they begin, they continue. So you have to embrace the energy of change and death. It is universal. So when you lean into it, good things happen, new things happen, but Azrael doesn't let you escape the energy of change. So that's what I'm getting here. If something's come to a close, a job, a relationship, a project, for those of you going through loss, my heart goes out to you. Any and all of those things, it doesn't stop. We're still here. The world keeps spinning. So it's about getting up tomorrow and thinking, what am I going to do next? And not in a way that's afraid, but in a way that's sort of like the sky is the limit, right? If you look at the High Priestess card and a lot of the major arcana cards, there's usually no limit. There's no structure above them because the sky is the limit. So that's kind of the idea here, is thinking the sky is the limit. Something's done, clearly, separation, but something else will open up instead. One door closing, another door opening. Nice segue for us to go into the expanded forecast, and we can look for those openings in health, wealth, love, and destiny. Okay? We're going to start off with health. This is your mind, body, and spirit. Okay. It says, be reborn daily. Well, that was perfect. Thank you, Spirit, for that segue. Let go of the past. Breathe in your new incarnation. You can't make this up when you're looking at the cards. So that's everything, folks. I feel like that's it. The healthiest thing to do is to let it go. The most enjoyable thing is when something's gone, there is no tethering of weight. So we're past the holiday season, but I reference it because most people have seen it on television. If you've ever seen any of the interpretations of A Christmas Carol, you'll get the imagery here. Jacob Marley is a partner in business with Ebenezer Scrooge. They are not very generous people. They don't treat people very well in business. And over the course of his life, he creates these chains and weights energetically that when he is in spirit show up in a physical form. And he pulls them into Ebenezer's cabin where he's sleeping at night. And he's like, I created all of these in life. I get sad because I had a teacher that really loved this. So that's why it's also ingrained in my head. But we don't have to, when you let go of stuff, I'm also having to let go of stuff, so it triggers me. But when you let go of stuff, it's just stuff, folks. It doesn't actually constitute anything, and it frees you to do whatever you need to do. So some of you, like me, may have an attachment to an old thing. It doesn't matter. You're still living, you're still breathing. You have a brain, you have a heart, you have the ability to move forward. Let it go. Let it go, folks. Okay? It's as much for you as it is for me. It's time to be reborn. It's time to release. And I definitely was picking up on some of your energy too, because it was hard for me to say that. Whatever you're holding on to, it doesn't serve a purpose anymore. Whether it's like mom's vase that you broke, or a job that you felt very connected to, or someone that you love that's no longer there, you are still whole. You have all that it takes to move forward, okay? Let's look at some specific health stuff here. For many of you, it is a wake-up call. We have death here in the outcome. And you're like, I don't want to go down that path. For some of you, you're also feeling like, I don't want to be unhappy. I want to put an end to that. Some of you are also just improving your general sort of self-worth and self-care. And you're saying, in order for me to be happier, I need more. I need more support. Okay? So the Ace of Pentacles reversed, saying, I need this, I want this, I don't want this, etc., will help redirect what we see here with the Three of Swords and Death. Let's see. There's a lot to unpack this month here. So the first thing in health in general, I see you so close to both success and beginning something new. I really will underline the importance of talking to somebody. I think that many of you could benefit from a therapist, a life coach, or a friend in moving through some of the challenges in your life. You can do a lot. You're very strong, but you could do even more with the assistance of someone else, if you want it. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I won't do that as a reader. Okay. The other thing here is you're very much being encouraged to, this is a card of accountability, the Chariot. So if you want something, do it. It's a very simple connection I'm seeing from Spirit too. Healing, rest, recalibration. That's what this month opens up. And you know where you want to go, many of you, and you will get there. It's just a matter of putting in the work, allowing yourself to rest, and then opening yourself up to the new possibilities that are coming through. If you need to separate from someone or something, Spirit's got your back. So you know what that is for those of you that need to make that cut. This could also be even like sobriety for some of you too. You're separating yourself from a person, place, or thing that doesn't bring stability, that isn't fostering what you need. And that will open you up to higher frequency opportunities. What we can't see in this, or what we don't always realize, is this is one of the angelic cards. So Temperance has an angel on it, Judgment has an angel on it, and Death is an angel, even if it's not always illustrated as such. So you're being guided toward change. I look for those angelic cards. The Lovers also has an angel above it. So those are just at the top of my head. There's like 4 major angel cards. Kind of like the major archangels. So this is important. This is an important shift. It will open up new things. And God and the universe are helping you through the change. Making necessary changes for your health and well-being. Trying something different, trying something new. By the way, breathing is a part of this too. So making sure that you're exercising, you're meditating. This can be yoga. This can just be getting outside. Checking air quality, that's something I had to do because of what's going on. That's one of the reasons I'm moving. So looking at all of those things will help you out. The good news is you can make the change once you set your mind to it. All right, let's move on to wealth, resources, life purpose, and career. Stag, Spirit, take the lead. All right, I would connect this with the Emperor. In a lot of the Druid decks that I have, we'll see Emperor, Empress energy. Actually, it would be Emperor because typically only male, the stags would have it. But yeah, a lot of times instead of a crown, you'll see horns. And that was just kind of like a more archaic and ancient way of showing divinity. So also putting your antenna up, really listening to what's going on. What do you want? What's going on? For those of you that are in business or trying to figure out, the next big trend, it's taking a lay of the land, reading the room, all of that. But take the lead. Sorry, in the Six of Wands here, the person riding on the horse, we actually don't see anybody in this particular card following her. So she is leading the charge. She's also kind of potentially going to war. Who knows? She might be fighting for something. The Six of Wands, I said, could be fighting for the necessary change. So we always see a person charging in on that horse. So you might have to be on the cutting or bleeding edge of something, in which case not everyone is going to understand until success has happened. And then they're like, oh yes, I never doubted you, etc., etc. Just go for it. If you need to do it, do it. Don't necessarily follow what's popular. Let me take a quick drink and then we're going to look at this a little bit deeper when we're focusing on career and money. Okay. Let's look at this just generally and then we'll break it down into working, not working, retired, etc. So generally speaking, when it comes to just resources and abundance in your life, there's a shift, there's a change. It's not always this easy for me to see, but for some of you, this could be saying, I want to go in a different direction. It doesn't have to be sort of like, it could be a sabbatical for those that are working. We'll talk more about that. It could just say, I want to experience a little bit of this over here. I need a change. So that's the main thing, is change and exploring all options on the table, literally and figuratively. Some of you are unhappy with either your family's experience with wealth and with resources, maybe even your past. So again, you're going to pay things down. You're going to find more abundance. You're going to create more of a foundation upon which you can build. So you're making room for more. And you're changing your old connection to money and saying it can be something that supports me rather than something that creates stress. And I think that's the main thing. You're changing your connection with either your career or your money or abundance in general. Let's break it down more specifically so I can kind of help all the categories. If you're working, for those that are employed, you're either riding a wave of success, like maybe you're in a very good company. But what's interesting right now is, or a very successful company, but it feels like there's a shift, a change of leadership, a change of direction. And you just have to ask yourself, am I on board? Does this feel like it's the direction that I want to take? Because success like that doesn't always, if you go home and you think I'm not feeling it, then that's okay. You can decide to go in a different direction. Stress or a lack of interest or a lack of growth are the main things that are coming through. It's weird because I see a lot of success. Six of Wands equals current success. Three of Wands equals even more success over the next year. So again, this could be like a Fortune 500 company, a top 5, company in the world or something. But is it worth the stress? Is it worth the lack of growth or boredom or whatever's happening here? It may not be. Can you do something else? Absolutely. We have a birthing card here. It's just about reaching out and exploring new things. So some of you are doing great, but you're not happy. So for you, Spirit already kind of is giving you some keys on that. And it's also really pushing you towards entrepreneurial opportunities as well, because this is management, this is management. Or maybe you're overdue and you want a job where you're a manager or something like that. So can you make the change happen? The one thing that I will say, at least over the course of the next month or so, this dust has to settle, or this direction has to kind of happen. The Four of Swords is typically not a very active card, so this could even be the next couple of months might be a little bit of stagnation, and that could cause frustration. So look beyond. Be the hermit. We saw the hermit energy. Look for the light at the end of the tunnel, or create your own light and create something new. That's my main message here. Again, with everybody, there's a chance to achieve more than you have. So you have to ask yourself, is this enough? If you're looking for work, can you find it? Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But what you're looking at right now may not be the best option on the table. And it's saying making a pivot could be good, or looking at it differently could be good, which is, again, I've talked about my own I have a background in journalism and like film or new media. This what I'm doing here didn't exist when I was going to school, which dates me a bit, but because YouTube hadn't been created. But all of the skills could be packaged in such a way that I am producing, I am editing, I am directing. It's all that I learned in school. Just I didn't know I'd be doing it here in my office. So you can repackage your skills, folks, in a different way, and it could be the perfect match. So look beyond your major, look beyond your existing or current career track and say, well, I have a lot of passion for that. I have these skills. What if I do the pivot now and try that? So it's asking you to not rinse and repeat. Comparable skills, different industry. Comparable skills, different track. Or using those skills to do your own thing if it doesn't exist out there. Because I couldn't find what I wanted to do out there, so I had to do something different. If you're getting this feeling of like, I keep throwing things in this direction, but nothing's happening, no news is still like a feedback from the universe. So again, it's a chance, it's encouragement to go in a new path, because if you keep repeating it, this could come through. In order to make the change, it might be necessary to do a little bit of a stretch goal. It might be necessary to travel. This is a card associated with travel, by the way, because the ships are in the traditional illustration. So you may be able to move, get a green card, do something in a different sort of country or place in order to expand your experiences as well. You also may need a little bit of, this is more for those of you starting your business. This would be additional capital. So you probably don't want to go forward without a loan or without enough planned for, like, new businesses take money to launch. I've been talking about the podcast for well over a year. It took a long time, a lot of research. I had to find a producer. I had to find an editor. I had to see if I was going to do it in person or remote. I had to get a lawyer. I had to ask people months and months and months and months and months and months of planning to get one guest. So it takes a long time to kind of sometimes launch things. Give yourself enough time and don't give up. I'm anything if not persistent. So play it for the long game, all of you right now. This means it will pan out, but you may also have to deal with some no's, some crickets here as you're waiting. And eventually when you're ready to let it all go, then some stuff comes through. So yeah, it's been about 12 to 14 months that I've been working on launching it. And of course it's happening as I'm going to move. So sometimes when things happen, all of it happens at once. You just have to roll with the punches. Okay. For those that are happily retired, good for you. You have a lot that you've done that you should be proud of. The Six of Wands is success. I feel like one of the things you would like to do, first of all, just because retirement is a phase that you're in does not mean that the journey is over. This is trying something completely different because it's fun. This is travel too. And for many of you, maybe it's making sure that there's some things on your bucket list that you get a chance to do while you can, while you're young, while you're capable of getting on a plane and walking and seeing and tasting and experiencing things. So go for that, absolutely. Some of you are also moving through a difficult path. So you may have anticipated doing some of these journeys with friends or family that are not here. So what you do instead is you do it in their honor, because you are still here, you're experiencing it. Trust me, they're there with you. I've had more mediumship experiences with my mom over the past year than I ever imagined. So she's absolutely a part of the journey and is cheering in the background. And she's shown me that. So it continues. We don't all hear it. We don't all see it. But I know your family members are there or your friends are there. So have some fun, raise a cup, say, look, I did it, and do it. I definitely get travel and bucket list items, whatever those are for you, whether it's, what is it called? Skydiving, right? Or hang gliding or something, because I'm seeing the sky. For some of you, it could be travel. For some, it could just be doing something unusual. And now you're not actually having to deal with all of the judgment and everything. So it's like, who cares? Have some fun with yourself. They're going to have a kick watching you do it too. I definitely get spirit watching. So for all of you going through pivotal things, spirit is here. This represents one who has passed that sees one's accomplishments now. Because this is achieving and succeeding, and this is spirit watching and celebrating all of that, okay? So whether your loved ones are here or gone, keep on having a good time, have the party. They're there. Set a place for them. That's what I'm getting here. Never too late to start your own business, by the way, too. If you want to do something for yourself just because. I still get a lot of active energy here for those that are retired. So have some fun. Don't stagnate. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at relationships. We kind of touched on this. Everything's flowing today a bit. And this looks like one of those star beings that has come through to me this week. Anunnaki light codes, energetic self, new information, end of a cycle. So one of the light updates that I received, like I said, was a spinning wheel in my hand. We have chakras, not just the 7, but a few above, a few below, on all of our fingers, in our hands, in our ears. There's a bunch of energy points. We just study like the major 7. So that's one of the light updates. That's why I wanted to talk a little bit about it to everybody, not just the sign that it came for, but like it was out of this world. I woke up thinking, that's crazy. I can hear the noise. I could feel the wheel spinning. So you have the ability to, with your own hands, heal something in your life. And if it is yourself, you can just put the hands on your heart and say, I'm ready to heal the wounds of the past. If it's a relationship, you could put the hands on a picture and say, I'm ready to heal this, whether that person's here or not. If it's your finances, get your checkbook, get your credit card, get a bill and say, I'm ready to heal my connection to money. This is no longer going to define me. Use your hands, they're powerful. And see the wheels spinning. I saw 3 wheels, 3 wands, 3 pivotal opportunities that might be coming through. And they just kept going faster and louder and higher pitch. So I do feel like this is a very hands-on year when it comes to change and healing in your life. Some of you might be having healing hands, and one of the things that you're going to do now is to heal others and to connect with others, because this came through in love. Okay? So I mentioned to the sign that I read for that not all of our guides are simply human, angelic, or what we see in traditional religion. There's also like beings, light beings beyond our own comprehension. And definitely I felt the energy and the presence of those light beings in January, in this week, in the week ahead. And I see things spinning and moving in the right direction. So I don't talk about that all the time, but that's definitely what I'm picking up on. And they want you to wake up. That's what I got as these sort of beings were coming through. All right, let's focus on relationships, folks. It's pretty clear here that movement and change is going to be the name of the game. I'm just going to go straight into the 3 categories because I really want to get specific. If you're in a relationship, either the relationship it's a moment of deciding, are we in or are we out? So long-term relationships where you may not be married, but one partner wants it, there could be a little bit more of a push for commitment. And it's really saying, I need this or I need to move in a new direction. And that's what that person could be doing. This can be a proposal. It's not just Ace of Cups. Ace of Pentacles is very appropriate for a proposal because you're proposing a merging of resources. 10 of Pentacles is marriage sometimes too, because it's showing all of the physical, material energy that you're going to be combining. So some of you are just at that pivotal point. Where are we at? Is this real or is it not? Okay. And this is just validating that. And we see change. For some of you, the other partner may not be ready to commit, and you have to decide if that's enough for you. But I definitely see that need for clarity and commitment, and I think it's important to ask for what it is that you need. And it's worth putting yourself out there. There's a chance for success. There could also just be a fear of what is coming through here. Let's put the fear to rest, and let's just ease into that, because 3 and 4 of Swords are very connected. I feel like you can transmute this. We can see a new beginning. We can see a new beginning here, death and birth. So marriage, by the way, is, all of you that are married are like, absolutely. It is a change. It is a death of the single self. It's a transition into the married couple. It's a new version of you. Death is a very appropriate card if I'm reading for marriage. I would also want to see like Lovers or the Ace of Cups, but guess what? We did get the Page of Cups. So if you're thinking of taking it next level, that's what I'm seeing. So this is very specific for those of you that have been in a long term. It's worth taking the leap of faith. And don't be surprised. That's why these cards get a bad rap. If I see positive energy like success and 3 of Wands and death, I'm like, okay, good. Are you in? Ready for the change? Don't be afraid. Okay, if you're in a long-term relationship, already married, or just for all intents and purposes, it is like a marriage, like a common law marriage. Here's what I see. There could be some challenges going on. There could be someone in your life that has kind of cycled out. It is not necessarily your partner. It could be someone else. And it's about grieving, dealing, or adjusting to these life changes. Births and deaths definitely would constitute the cards. More death in this case, or more separation. So this is the time where you come closer together, hopefully. Okay? And for some of you, it is a moment where you're like, can we weather the storm? So sometimes we just outgrow a relationship, right? And these cards here are showing that. If the other party can't give you what they need, or vice versa, you've given it your best shot, you love each other, but it's sort of like, I don't see this moving forward, then it's about having that conversation. It's change. One way, shape, or form, things are either going to grow or go when it comes to existing relationships. Okay, if you're looking for love, you got to do the self-work first. This stuff needs to be sorted. So like I said, settling any agreements, debts, etc., doing the inner child healing. If you need to make a career adjustment or personal adjustment, etc., perfect. Once that happens, we have Page of Cups and Death, past life energy coming through. By the way, this can just be a soulmate, so that is fine. With this soulmate energy, though, comes maybe, well, let's see here. Okay, this is interesting. So these are both past life energies. Four of Swords I showed you is the sepulcher. So this represents death. This is death. Two past life partners. So this is, we can just read as the partnership. Ace of Wands in reverse is not a mutual spark. So don't force it. If you don't feel it, don't force it. I think that this week is better for taking care of healing, taking care of finances, focusing on opportunities. I think relationships may come through, but they need to go slow. This would be a very sleepy card when it comes to that. Just say, you know what? I need to take care of some things. Let's meet up next week. I think just kind of slow and steady. Don't go too fast. It may be difficult to move to the next level of commitment or intimacy with this. In existing relationships, by the way, the spark may need to be rekindled. That could be part of the challenge. Something with the spark is off, and you either feel it or you don't. Water signs coming through as well, by the way. So that may be the way that the person's presenting themselves. A little bit younger, not afraid to speak up. I do like the communicative quality there. For those that are retired, all the stuff that I mentioned for career really files through on this one because, not retired, I would say single and happy. But for some of you, maybe widowed or retired and not partnered, because that word did come to mind. It is about having some fun, taking a vacation, resting. Resting is key. I think this is just a good week to ease into that hermit energy that we saw at the end of the week, which was what, Friday? Definitely a self-care week overall. But if you are single and happy, socializing, doing something like dance, pottery, art, singing, like choir, all of that jazz is coming through. Jazz? Doing some fun stuff just for the sake of it. Because you'll meet some new people. This is a painting, like it reminds me of someone painting. So I think it's a very artistic week for those of you that are single. Get out there, have some fun. Don't worry about the partnership vibe. Congrats on not being attached. There's a lot of other things that can come through this week, okay? Destiny. Balance, yin and yang. This is for many of you just achieving the balance that's necessary in your life. You might meet someone that is really that sort of person that you're needing. So if you're an introvert, they're an extrovert. If you're very conservative, they're very emotive. There's this sort of nice balancing energy. Could come in the form of a partner. You could just also be accessing a different part of your own sort of energetic palette. And now you're willing and ready to paint with that part of your palette as well. And that's everything. We're going to now take a look at the big idea. So the big idea is going to give us one thing to focus on that will help us identify a higher frequency. The timeline thing I'm going to revisit either as a members video or maybe I'll bring it back. Or if there's a reader's choice, we'll do it sometime because it was a tie. But the timeline's not so much, they didn't want to come through. So members, you chose correctly this week. But I'm honoring the rest of the majority there. So I definitely will bring timelines up another time. High frequency opportunities. What do you need to do? This is what Spirit wants me to ask. What do you need to do to get out of your way to accomplish that high frequency opportunity? Yeah, it is beyond this week. This is a longer, for all of you that ask for like, I wish you had longer readings for all the dailies. I do them. I do them every Sunday. And this one is however long it needs to be. It'll be an hour and 10, hour and 20, or an hour and 45. However long we need to talk, we talk here. So this is the free-flowing one each and every week. How do you get out of your way? First of all, this is a chance for you to say yes to something. The Three of Cups is celebration. It is dating. It is hanging out. It is just having fun, letting loose. When it's reversed, it's a reluctance to let people see the free-flowing, free-styling side of yourself. And Spirit's just saying, why? Have some fun. Let that sort of veneer down. Just allow people to see that you're not afraid to laugh at yourself. You're not afraid to be imperfect. You're not afraid to have a good time. Give yourself an opportunity to celebrate and to have fun. Don't worry so much about peer pressure. Three of Cups in reverse can be gossip and peer pressure, so you're not going to worry about that. Don't rush to the finish line when it comes to new partnerships. Three of Cups serves a purpose. It's a chance to see, do we vibe? Is this what I want? This can be a person, it can be a job, whatever. So temporary engagements or that courtship process is a chance to get to know before putting everything on the line. So don't rush past this important phase. That's how you can get out of your own way. Okay? Okay. We are going to get ready to meditate, and then I will look at one final question. I'm sure all of you might have one thing this week that you're looking at. So write it down in 2 or 3 words, whatever that is, or tap it into your phone. And we're going to meditate quickly, and then we'll take a look at that final card. After that, if I have memberships, I'll gift them. If not, I will just say thanks to anybody who gave back a little bit. All right, so first things first, let's get ready to meditate, folks. Close your eyes if you would, be so kind to do so. Nice deep breath, take your shoulders up and back, relax, and let's focus on something beautiful. I think the stars are calling. So imagine, if you will, that you are laying out on a beautiful blanket, looking up at the stars. There are no trees around you. You just are in this nice open field. And above you are stars, more than you've ever seen, like something like you would see out of a movie. So we must be in a very remote part of the world where it's just you and the universe. As you look at the stars above, imagine that it's almost like a little bit of a trippy thing, but you almost feel like the earth is moving towards them, or they're moving towards you. And you start to get this sense of you are moving through space. We actually are constantly moving through space, but we just don't see or feel it because because of gravity and because of the speed with which we move on this planet. So imagine, if you could, that we could actually see just how fast the Milky Way is moving, how fast the universe is expanding, and all the different things, because the Earth is rotating on its axis around the sun in a solar system, in an arm of a larger galaxy, which itself is expanding, which in a universe is expanding, which might be a part of a larger collection of universes as well. So there is expansion and movement beyond our comprehension. You are not stuck. That is what the universe is telling me. You are moving. You just can't see it. So open your heart up to the fact that you are exactly where you need to be, and that new paths are revealing themselves by the moment. All that's required is opening the third eye. So as we breathe, and as you look up at this starry landscape in the firmament above, imagine that the third eye starts to open like a crescent moon, and then becomes a full moon looking up at the stars. And see what you see, whatever spirit wants you to see. Allow that to come forth. And I'm going to play the singing bowl as we do that. could see your body from a million miles above, you would just see this brilliant, bright light shining forth. See the light within. Allow the rays of light emanating from that third eye to reach out and help you see and connect with opportunities on the horizon. If you can see it, you can do it. You have to be able to see it in your mind's eye first and foremost. When you're ready, please open your eyes. Let's turn the attention now to the final question that you have for me, and we'll see what Spirit has to say. All right, things are moving, folks. We have the Knight of Swords. The one timing message that we did get today, this is not a replacement for the divine timing reading, but it did come through with the final card, is the Knight of Swords. Things are moving quicker than expected. This is the fastest moving card that I can pull in major or minor arcana. You always see the knight galloping forth, whether against or toward the wind, it doesn't matter. They're going to make progress. So whatever you're trying to do, it will happen. You just have to continue to move forward. All right? Speak it into existence. The knight communicates what they need. The knight fights, and we're talking about in a figurative sense. They're going to basically invest the energy and the effort to make it happen. They're going to fight for what matters and go after it. It's a yes to a yes, no, but it's a yes, comma, show up and show all of that effort and energy as well. And, you know, like the knight is very much connected to the Six of Wands because both of these are people riding forth on the horses. Lots of movement energy across the board because in addition to that, we also have typically the Chariot. Depends on the deck. Usually we have sphinxes in the front, and those can represent mysteries, unknown, esoteric sort of things. So you're starting to uncover these things. You're figuring out, I can do this. I'm more powerful than I thought, etc., etc. Okay? And you're just as much moving away as you are moving toward something new. This was kind of magical, wasn't it, today? I mean, they all are, but especially today's. So thank you for allowing me to be present and to be a part of this. I mean, what we do here is kind of magical, and I definitely look forward to it. And, you know, I have a lot going on in my own life, and it's nice for me to be able to sit down for a few moments with all of you, and together we can sort this all out together. If you like what you see here, do me a favor. Please hit like and subscribe. It's 100% free. It helps a lot. Thank you in advance. You can give me a follow on social media as well. It's always my full name across all major platforms. If you'd like to make sure that you're watching or you're looking at the correct handle, you can do that on my website. A reminder, I don't offer private readings. I don't use direct messages, text, WhatsApp, any form of messaging to ask for things. There's a lot of people out there that are not good agents and they pretend to be people that they're not. So just wanted to make that clear. If you want to give back, you can do it through Super Stickers, Super Chat, and through memberships. Let me take a look. Let's see if I have one more to give this month. And if I do, I will share it. So let's see. No, let's see. I don't think I do this month. I must have gifted all of them already. Well, wait a second. Let's see. Yeah, I guess we will do more next month, but that's right. We're at the end of this month. So join me next week. I do it every other week. So next week I will have some to gift. For now, I'm just going to say thanks to those who have given back. So let's do that first. And then we will wrap up, and I'll bring Apollo up at the end. All right. So starting off with memberships. Let's see what's going on here. To all of those who have gifted, let's see what's going on here. So we'll do the newest ones first. Okay, so we got a bunch today, so there must have been some gifted ones. Jaya Journeys, thank you so much. Baranda, Richard, Rebecca, Nicole, Christy, Balance Glow, Joanne, Enzo, and Autism Guru. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Let me see if I can see who gifted what. I'll do it on the side monitor here because I think I have a way of doing that. So 1 second. Let's see, chop messages, fan funding. Here we go. So let's see who gave some this week as well. Okay, gifting. Colette, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. And I think that was the person who gifted there. We'll go all the way to the top here. Cece, thank you for also gifting 1. and some membership anniversaries. Sammy, thank you for 17 months. Ann Walk, thank you for 2. And let's see, Urban Stack, thank you for 1 month of membership. I appreciate all of you, and I'm glad you enjoyed this. If I missed anybody, I will see it on the replay. Now let's say thanks to all those that gave back with super stickers or super chat. Okay, super stickers and super chat. Lydia, Lucy, Jeannie, Allison, and Color Me Happy. Thanks, guys, for showing up and for giving back a little bit. I also saw that we have, did we see a star member as well? I can't remember if I saw one on here as well. But anyway, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed this. And again, it was a kind of magical presentation today. So my honor to be a part of this and to help everybody heal today. So looks like it's a good week ahead. Embrace change. That's the number one thing that I saw as I looked at all of the cards. And as long as you do that, you should be in a good place. I will announce when Pisces is. It depends on some things that are in motion next week. It will definitely be before the end of the month. I'll try to do it Monday, but it may be Tuesday. So be patient with me because I'm touring apartments. I'm trying to deal with some other things. I'm getting ready for the podcast. This is a busy week for me. So I'm not like my typical schedule will be a little bit off for the next couple of weeks, and I will just announce it on the community tab as necessary. Thank you for being patient with that. Let's bring Apollo up before we wrap up today. So from Mr. Apollo and me, of course, as well, to all of you, wishing you lots of love, lots of light. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Until next time, lots of love and light. Bye, guys.